Hi, I'm Alison, and today I'm going to be covering an introduction to Easify. Easify was originally written for small businesses as it allows business owners to go about their day-to-day workings, buying and selling goods, whilst Easify looks after their stock levels and records their financial transactions for them. I'm not going to go into a huge amount of details here, as we have other videos that cover the various functions of Easify. Plus, we also have a comprehensive user guide available through our website. This can also be accessed using any of the blue help buttons within Easify itself. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and tick the bell icon to be notified when we release new videos too. Let's get started. When you first load Easify, you'll be met with the main window of Easify. Along the top, we have menus for all the different functions of Easify, and in the bottom left we have blue shortcut buttons for the main areas that most people use on a day-to-day basis. This big grey area is sort of like your work area where all the windows will load as and when you're using Easify. As most businesses will want to put their stock onto Easify first, let's start with the products window. We call this products, but to be honest, you can use it for services, labour charge as well. It doesn't have to be a physical stock product. When you click products, you'll see the products window loads. This is a populated database, so we've already got some information in here. Obviously, if you're new to Easify, this will be all blank, ready for you to start adding your first product. When we click on a product, we can see that the product editor appears, and this allows you to add your information about that specific product. You can put in description, manufacturer, where you buy it from, any of your stock codes. You've then got also the pricing tab, where you can put your cost price, put your sell price. You've got a trade price as well as a retail price. You can either adjust your margin and it will calculate your net and your VAT price, ink VAT price for you, or you can set your ink VAT price accordingly, and it will back calculate your margins for you. Under the stock levels tab, this is where you put in how many items you've got in stock. Easify will also allow you to allocate stock items to orders so you don't oversell them or sell them to somebody else. As you can see on this particular item, we've got 24 in stock, 22 are free, i.e. they're available to be sold to anybody, but 2 are already allocated to somebody. If we were to click the little allocations button next to this, you can see where these items are already allocated. The shipping condition, notes and info tabs tend to be used if you've connected Easify to a WooCommerce website. This is available for an additional subscription fee, and as orders are received through your WooCommerce website, they flow into Easify and your stock levels are adjusted accordingly. You've also got sales and purchase history tabs, which are quite useful, as it will give you a sales history of how many of these items you've sold over any given time. That's the products window. Now, there are 2 different ways as how to sell products through Easify. We've got what a lot of people refer to as the front end, which is the point of sale, or POS as it's quite often referred to, or what we call the back end, which is the orders and quote screen. Both of these can be used to sell items to your customers. Most people will use the point of sale if they are like a retail environment where people come in and just want to be able to purchase goods easily across a counter, whereas they would probably use the orders and quotes screen if they are doing more complicated quotes and orders where perhaps they've got lots of items and some of them need to be ordered in, and then they will maybe ship them to the customer, or maybe the customer's got trade account with them and that sort of thing. But it's entirely up to you how you choose to use Easify. But first of all, we'll start with the point of sale. This is the point of sale window. It's very simple. It's a very clean looking system, and you can just put in your stock codes here at the bottom. If you have a barcode scanner enabled, you can just scan your barcode. You can scan the EN code on an item as long as it's already been put into Easify, and it will appear here. We have 2 views in the point of sale. We have this view, but we also have a slightly different view, which some people find useful. It allows the categories to be shown, and then you can drill into the categories to see the products. A lot of people like this if they don't have that many categories and they tend to sell the same item. For instance, we have museums that use our software and they find this window really useful because they tend to be selling the same tickets all day long. Once you've added your item into the point of sale, you can now just take payment. By pressing the F12 button, the payment screen appears and you can record how the customer has paid you. Now, when we look at the orders screen, you will see that an order has been raised for that particular sale. If we were to click on the order, we would see that the item that we have just sold through the point of sale, an order has been raised for it, an item allocated to it, it's been taken out of stock and our stock levels adjusted accordingly. And in the billing tab, you can see £34.99 was paid by cash by the customer. So this information is automatically put into the billing tab of the order for you. That information, the financial information, is also automatically put into the Cashbook for you. The Cashbook is like an old-fashioned cash book like for bookkeeping processes, where it records all your money in and all your money out of your business. So here we can see we just had one transaction because obviously we're just doing it in a test environment, but you can look for any period of time. And if we were to go back to the 1st of July, you can see we've got different sales in there. They are colour coordinated, so sales showing blue, purchases showing green, and transfers between one account and another show in brown. The Cashbook basically gives you an overview of all the money in, all the money out of your company with your bottom net figure. As you pay for orders and purchases or expenses, the transactions automatically get recorded into your Cashbook for you. Earlier on, I said there are two ways to make sales through Easify, through the point of sale or the orders and quotes screen. So let's have a better look at the orders and quotes screen. Load the orders and quotes, which can be loaded using these shortcut buttons here or from the top menu. Here are orders. It automatically defaults to active orders, but if you were to choose any of the statuses here, you can look at other order status or click on the white at the top and it shows you all your orders. As you can see, this is the order we raised just through the point of sale. But if we wanted to raise a new order through the orders and quotes screen, we would click on raise new order. Then you can put your information in. You would need a description, a comment, and then you can select your products by either clicking the browse products, which brings up the main products window for you, or you've got the product picker. Or alternatively, you can just add your item in using the SKU code here. This window is quite useful as well because you can drag several items or quite a few items to the order in one go. So if you tend to sell lots of the same sort of items to an order, you can do that. You can also copy orders, and that's quite a useful feature too. Here you would then select a customer. Again, you can click on the view customers, and then you can drag a customer to an order. You've also on an order got, and this appears on purchases too, you've got an internal note system, and this is quite useful because if you are, say, a service industry and you want to make a note for your colleagues as to what you need to do on a particular job, you can put an internal note and you can ask, say you could say to your colleague, Bob, please call the client. And then as long as Bob has an email address and it's been entered into Easify, if you click on his name, he will then automatically be emailed with that notification. It basically tells him he's got a task to do. It's quite useful for managers to be able to assign tasks to members of staff, that sort of thing. This section is read only though, so you can't change it once you've saved something into the internal notes. You've also got the Documents tab. This is quite useful as well. Easify includes a full document management system, so you can store documents for your orders, your purchases, your customers and your suppliers. So it's quite a useful feature because you can make sure all your information is in one place. And then as we looked at earlier on the order we raised through the point of sale, you've also got the billing. And here where you could record your financial info. So if you're billing the customer for this work now, you could click the invoice button and then send them an invoice by printing it under the print menu. Once you receive payment, you can also do that through the order screen, or you can do it through the point of sale if you prefer. But through the order screen, you would just click on the take payment and then record how they have paid you. With this as well, you've got the advance payment method, which is quite useful for people who work in accounts who perhaps want to record more information. One of the other areas we'll look at is purchases and expenses. Obviously, you're going to not only want to record your sales, but you might also want to record your purchases. As you purchase goods from your suppliers, by raising a purchase on Easify, Easify can automatically adjust your stock as and when you receive the items. So here we can raise a new purchase and we can say you would add in a description. You would then select a supplier, similar way to the order screen, as you would then click on the supplier picker. Or again, you could open up the supplier window and drag a supplier to a purchase. And then you would add your items to the purchase. If you want Easify to control your stock levels for you, it does need to be a product that's actually listed in the products window. And every product within Easify is given a unique SKU or stock keeping unit by Easify. And if you want Easify to control its stock levels, it needs to have an Easify SKU. So we're going to say that we're going to buy some of these items for the sake of argument, add them to the order, adjust the quantities to whatever you're buying. Then when these items come into stock, if you then move the purchase to received, it will book all these items into stock for you and adjust the stock levels accordingly. So as you can see, we've got an update stock levels now that says, would you like, Easify can automatically update your product stock levels for you. And if you'd like it to do that, you just click OK. Your stock levels would be adjusted accordingly. Again, under the payment tab, if you put in your information as to how you have paid for this purchase, it would be recorded in your Cashbook along with all your sales. So here, if we say we have paid it by current and bank transfer, if you record that here, it records the payment here, and this will also then show in your Cashbook here. The one thing with purchases that's useful as well is the purchase type. If you change this to whatever type of purchases you're doing, like for instance, in this case, it's cost of goods because we're buying in stock, that will then tell you over the course of any period how much you've spent on that particular type of item, so cost of goods. This is also very important if you are using Easify to file your VAT return with HMRC via MTD. Purchases also can be used to record expenses. So unlike orders, it doesn't have to be linked to a particular stock product. So i.e. the product doesn't need to be on the products window. You can just type in expenses into Easify for purchases and expenses. So for instance, if you want to record your monthly rent, you can just add in your rent here, just literally type in the description, add in your supplier, say how much it is, adjust the VAT if you need to. And then again on the billing tab, you would want to update the purchase type. And then you can record all your expenses too. If you were to then process a payment for that, like we did just for the stock purchase we've just placed, you can then see that the payment's been recorded against this purchase. And again, if we were to look in the Cashbook, you'd see it's recorded there in the money out column. Easify also includes a full paperwork designer. So we've put together some default templates for people for invoices, delivery notes, quotes, that sort of thing. In the paperwork designer, you can set up any amount of paperwork you need. So if you need specific documentation for your business, the chances are you can raise what you need in the paperwork designer. It's quite a powerful tool as well, because you can put in things like a formula to calculate specific things that you might need. Again, we have a really comprehensive user guide on this on our website, plus we have a very detailed video on our YouTube channel about the paperwork designer. As I mentioned earlier, Easify can file your VAT returns to HMRC for MTD requirements. So if you'd like to find out more about that, please feel free to contact us at support@easify.co.uk or pop a comment in the comments below. We also have information about that on our website. Well, I think that's all the main areas of Easify covered. I hope that's been useful. If you'd like to ask us any questions, please feel free to pop us an email or pop a comment below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.